7, we're supposed to draw f of x that has these characteristics on this graph. So the first one is the average rate of change from -3 to 0. -3 to 0 is a -2. Average rate of change is the slope of the secant line. From -3 to 0 is -2. So if I started here, I'd have to go down 2 for 1 to have a slope of -2. Well, to get to here, I'd be down here 6 lower. So I'm going to start up a little higher. I'm going to start at 3. And then if I go down 2 for every 1, 2 for 1, 2 for 1, I'd be here. Now, those 2 points are completely arbitrary. That how much they drop and go over is fixed, but I can move both of them up or both of them down and still meet this requirement. Then the second thing is the average rate of change from 1 to 3. From 1 to 3 has to be a half. So I have to have a slope of a half, which is up 1 for 2, 1 for 2, something like this. Now I could start right on the x-axis. I could start up here and go up like that, or I could start up here, or I could start down here. Since I'm coming down here, I'll just go here at -2, 1, -2, and then I'll go up 1 for the 2 units, so I'll be at 1, or 3, -1. Now, it could be a straight line between those, but probably not, because they're going to ask us to do instantaneous rate of change at -1. The graph has got to have a slope of -1. So a slope of -1 would look something like this, going down 1 for 1, -1. So I have to have a slope something like that on however I get from here to here, but at -1. So I'm just going to go right there because that looks like it would flow, but it doesn't. I don't have to. I could put it up here. I could put it wherever. And I want to have a -1 slope. So the curve I'm going to have right there have a tangent line of -1. So I could go from here down and have that slope there and then get to this point. And then at 2, it's supposed to be +1 slope. At 2, a +1 slope. That's a slope like that. Up to 1 square for up 2 for 2, or up 1 for 1, or whatever. Even. So I could come up to this point. So to get the average rate, I have to hit these 2 points that I made. But I want a slope like this, so I'm going to have to go down and so I can make a curve like this, a curve around, and then curve back to here. So I have a slope like they want. That's part A. Part B. So this is g of 3 minus g of -2. So it's from -2 to 3, which is 5 units. That's why it's changing y over changing x. So that's the average rate of change. So that's just like the first one here. The slope has to be 0 from -2 to 3. -2 to 3, the slope has to be 0. Well, I could go from here to here and that have a slope of 0. I could go from -2,1 to 3,1 and that would have a slope of 0. I could go from -2 at a height of 2 to 3 at a height of 2 and that would have a slope of 0. So this and this one have to be at the same height. And it could be down here, this height to that height. No change in the slope. The slope is 0 from -3 to 2. But from -1 to 1, the slope is -1. minus 1 to 1, the slope is minus 1. That's a slope like this. Now it could be up here, it could be down below. I'll just put it right here. There's the slope of minus 1 over that interval. All I really need to do is put a dot. But I need to do some instantaneous rate of change, so I may have messed up here. The slope at 2 has to be 1. At 2, it has to have a slope of 1. Well, I could put it here, I could put it up here, I could put it anywhere, but there's a slope of 1. And at minus 1, it has to have 0. Oh, well, this won't have 0. I may have to do something like this. And then maybe I'll come down and do this. So now the average rate of change is still the same. The secant line looks like that. There's a slope of 0. And I have to end at the same height as I started. So if I go up here and have a slope of 1, I could go right to here and right to there. So I'm at the same height as I ended at the same height I started. I have a slope of 0, average slope of minus 1, and then a slope of 1, and end at the same height, so the overall average is 0. So take that out, and there we have part B.